The camera recorded what this spider does at night to the baby. This is the creepy moment a spider dropped onto a sleeping baby. Baby monitors provide great comfort for moms and dads who are always wanting to check up on their sleeping baby, but sometimes they capture things we would prefer not to see. Mom of one Emily Stewart from Illinois, the US, got the shock of her life when her baby monitor captured the unsettling moment a rather large spider descended onto her daughter Kyla, who was sleeping soundly in her cot. Stewart saw the video the morning after it had happened while rewinding through the footage to see if her daughter slept well that night. She couldn't help but share the creepy moment on TikTok. The spider casts a huge shadow as it quickly drops down on the child after scuttling across the camera lens. It seems to land near Kyla's face in the footage, which Miss Edwards shared with the caption, "Trigger warning, I think my life would have been better if I did not see this. Now I have to burn the house down." The clip seems to start off innocently with a night vision shot of baby Kyla sleeping in her crib, until you notice a set of large spider legs crawl over the camera, blocking the view. The spider then moves to the side of the camera right above Kayla's crib and begins to suspend from the camera right down onto the baby's head. It's truly something no parent wants to see. After posting the video, the mom received a number of queries from users online about whether the spider did any harm to her daughter, which thankfully it didn't. The spooky spider has gone viral since Miss Stewart posted it on TikTok on January 4, and it has been viewed more than 3.5 million times. She later revealed that Kyla's fine. She said she killed the spider after she watched the baby monitor clips the next morning. Commenters identified the creature from Miss Stewart's description as a yellow sac spider, which is venomous and can bite. "Baby is okay, not bitten. The spider came back up a minute later and I killed it in the morning after I saw the video," she responded to the comments. Because the video cut off at the moment the spider descended onto the little girl's head, users also kept asking the mom whether it ever came back up. To answer the query, Stewart uploaded a follow-up video showing the spider climbing back up to where the camera was sitting above the crib. People couldn't help but take to the videos to comment on how terrifying and creepy they were. "Press charges, you got it on camera," one woman wrote. Another said, "The spider had the entire room and it chose right here to spin down." "Creepy," said a third. The spider appears huge on video, but yellow sac spiders usually only grow to 3/8 of an inch long. Nevertheless, one commenter said, "I'll never get over this," and another posted, "Shivers." Others shared their own traumatic spider experiences, with one saying, "I changed my son's diaper one day and there was literally a dead spider in his poop." Another commented, "One time I felt a spider while in bed. I turned my flashlight on and found it on my toddler's face. Smacked him without really thinking about it. Whoops." Miss Stewart replied, "Lol, first instinct." Another clearly terrified commenter wrote, "Never go to sleep again, noted." More commenters said the footage would have made them freak out. Yellow sac spider bites can be painful and mildly necrotic. The spiders walk on walls and ceilings at night in search of food, and if disturbed, may quickly drop to the floor to escape. Meanwhile, another suggested she score the clip with a Mission Impossible theme. It's yet unclear what species of arachnid infiltrated Kyla's crib to be precise, but Stewart claims it was some venomous little yellow spider. This isn't the first time an arachnid attack has been caught on camera. This past May, an Australian space telescope recorded a giant huntsman spider crawling across the lens in a scene straight out of a B horror movie. What happened to this little girl was a nightmare. A 5-year-old girl from Suffolk was rushed to hospital after being bitten by a poisonous spider usually found in America. Little Lucy Cannon was left with a large oozing black scab after being bitten by a brown recluse spider, one of dozens of spiders that took over the family home in Farmingham, Suffolk. She is the second child to be taken to hospital in the area following a suspected brown recluse spider bite in 2 weeks, leading to fears there may be an invasion of the alien species in the area. Schoolgirl Abby Kinnard from Colchester, Essex was left with a gaping hole caused by a suspected venomous brown recluse. After being bitten while asleep one night, Lucy's mom Sarah Cannon eventually had to rush Lucy to hospital after developing cellulitis, where she was kept for 3 days. Mom of 2 Sarah, 31, said, "It's been awful to watch Lucy go through this. It's been really scary. The bite still looks yucky. When I saw the story about Abby Kinnard, the similarities between her and Lucy struck me. It started exactly the same way and the injury looks identical." Sarah said Lucy's bite appeared as a small blister-like mark on November 13, 2 weeks after Abby was bitten on October 28, which was itchy but then became sore and inflamed. When the bite had not cleared up, Sarah took her daughter to a doctor who advised going to hospital. Sarah said, "I was worried that it was blood poisoning. When they suggested I should take her to hospital, I was quite panicky. It was scary." Lucy was admitted to Ipswich Hospital, where she was hooked up to an antibiotic drip, which was administered every 8 hours in an attempt to flush out the infection. Sarah said, "At first they said she might need surgery and a skin graft, but we were lucky as she accidentally knocked her hand at the hospital, which seems to have released a lot of the poison." Since leaving hospital, Lucy has weekly checkups. We're now more aware the spiders are there, but I try not to think about them too much because if I did, I wouldn't sleep at night. Abby Kinnear's mom, Haley, said she was surprised by how similar Lucy's injuries were to her own daughter's. Haley, 35, said, "I was really shocked when I saw the pictures. I would urge any parents concerned about a bite to get it checked out straight away, and if you're not happy to get a second opinion, I'm glad I did." An East Suffolk District Council spokesman said, "We've not been made aware of any such incidents." However, a spokesman for the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, said, "Sightings of non-native spiders should be reported to local councils' environmental health teams." The spiders are rare in the UK and usually found in North America. They have 3 pairs of eyes and their bites can often require medical attention. The spiders like to hide inside dark spaces. Usually if found inside a home, they live in spaces such as cardboard boxes, shoes, chest of drawers, piles of clothes, behind pictures, or even inside toilets. They usually grow up to 20 millimeters in length and despite their name can vary in color from brown to gray. They also have a violin-shaped marking on their head. Their bites are often not felt immediately and lesions can emerge as red, white, and blue patches. In the most severe cases, a bite can become gangrenous. This was too dangerous. Mom's closed warning after her son's temperature soared to almost 40 degrees Celsius and he started to hallucinate Pixar characters. An 8-year-old was hospitalized after being bitten on the bum by a false widow spider that left him hallucinating and vomiting, 15 years after his mom was also bitten by one on her bottom. Bear Styles pulled on his swimming trunks left out on the patio to dry ahead of jumping into the family's 18-foot swimming pool on July 21st. Unbeknownst to Bear, a 50-pence-sized spider was lurking inside his swim shorts that sank his fangs into the crease of his right bum cheek. After Daddy Vinny Styles shook out the lad's swim shorts, an 8-legged horror with large fangs plopped on the floor and scuttled away, but not before Mom Dawn Styles took a snap of it. Apart from 2 tiny puncture wounds, at first Bear felt fine and jumped into the pool, but 40 minutes later he was extremely pale, felt sick, and his temperature rocketed to 39.2 degrees. After monitoring him closely, the first aid trained couple decided to call 111, where an operator advised they take him to hospital. During the car journey to Peterborough City Hospital, the bushcraft-loving boy started hallucinating, claiming he could see Disney Pixar characters looming in the trees. At the hospital, concerned staff monitored Bear and carried out numerous tests, confirming he'd suffered a reaction to a noble false widow spider. In a bizarre coincidence, the 8-legged terror bit the lad on the bum 15 years after a stowaway spider in 42-year-old Mom's Dawn's jeans bit her on the bottom too. A week on from this ordeal, doula Dawn is sharing Bear's story so people are vigilant and shake clothing left outside before wearing them, and to seek medical help if bitten. Dawn from March, Cambridgeshire said, "We've got a really big 18-foot pool in the garden, which we put up every year over the summer. The kids absolutely love it, they go in every day. My husband had just got in from work and around 7 p.m. they were getting ready to get in. As they go in every day, the kids leave their wet stuff slung over a chair in the garden or on the patio to dry. Bear went out and put his shorts on, obviously he didn't shake them or anything, and then he came in and said, 'Something's bit my bum.' He quickly whipped them off and I called my husband over. He picked up the shorts, shook them, and a spider dropped out. We were laughing about it and making light of it because weirdly, I was bitten on my bum about 15 years ago by a spider in my jeans. I always tell him that story and I said, 'Oh, that happened to me, it's okay, don't worry.' My husband made sure he was okay, took his shorts and cleaned them out. I got a picture of the spider just in case and then he went into the pool. Bear splashed around in the pool for half an hour with sales manager Dad Vinny, 47, and siblings Forrest Styles, 19, Finley Styles, 16, and 15-year-old Feather Styles before getting out. When Bear got out, he was extremely pale, complained he felt sick, hot, and cold, and his heart started racing. Dawn said, after he got out of the pool, he went really white, his lips were pale, and he said he felt sick. I sat with him on the sofa and he felt steaming hot, but his hands and feet were really cold. We took his temperature and it was 39.2 degrees. He had chills and was shaking. I called my husband over, we're both first aid trained, and he said we should ring 111. The lady on the phone said you need to get to hospital now and told me to take my phone in case we needed an ambulance on the way. When she said that, I remember thinking, oh my gosh. It's a 35-minute journey to the hospital, and as I was driving there, he started hallucinating. He really likes Disney Pixar cars, and he was saying I can see Mater in the trees. Every few breaths, he'd take a really big breath like he couldn't quite catch his breath. I had to help him walk into the hospital. On the way to the hospital, it was scary, but once we got there, I felt reassured that I was in good place. I knew that even if anything did happen, I could just quickly flag someone and get him seen. The pair arrived at hospital at 11 p.m., where Bear started vomiting, became drowsy, started suffering a thumping headache, and his temperature remained high. Dawn said, I showed the doctor the photo of the spider and he consulted someone from the poisons department. The unusual thing was that this one didn't have the usual well-known skull marking that false widows do. The doctor said there were lots of categories of false widows and this was a noble false widow. It wasn't a massive spider, including its legs was about the size of a 50-pence piece, but It had bigger fangs than I would imagine a spider that size would have. There was no blister or tracking. It was almost like he didn't get that external reaction, all internal. They were shocked his reaction was caused by a spider bite. The doctor looking after Bear requested they log his bite in their journal so other professionals can learn from his experience. Dawn said, the doctor said if he'd ever seen a spider bite before and asked if he could document it in their medical journal so others can learn from it. Bear thought it was really cool. Dawn said he was really tired, still very pale when he came home. That night he slept for 13 hours and the following night he slept lots too, which was really good for him. He's also autistic, which sometimes has an impact on illnesses. Autistic people tend to feel pain and experience illness in a different way to neurotypical people. Often they don't really feel certain pain in the same way and other things they can overfeel. He wasn't making a big deal of his symptoms. He was just not a fussy kid. He just deals with it. He's pretty much back to normal now. Every day's a little bit brighter. The main thing was the tiredness. He was just wiped out. Dawn is now urging families to be vigilant and thoroughly check any clothing left outside for beasties and bugs before wearing them. If someone is bitten, go and seek medical treatment. It wasn't the first time. A man was horrified to discover that what he thought was a glittery spider was actually the reflection of dozens of eyeballs, as a clump of baby arachnids clung to their mother's back. The unlucky householder named Bamshki started filming an unusual arachnid he saw in his home, rather than killing it, which is the default reaction of many. The large dark spider appears to be glinting as Bamshki, believed to be from Australia, films the insects from all angles, capturing its sparkles. He chats to a woman off camera saying, "Oh wow, that's dope. You should see what I'm seeing. It's glittery. Watch, look at this, it sparkles." The next scene cuts to a spider in a different location and not alone anymore. Bamshki then says, "Its eyes, those sparkles on its butts weren't sparkles, it was little tiny eyeballs. Oh my frickin' god, they're literally all around its body." Numerous baby spiders can be seen around the mother as her brood starts hatching. The clip, which contains strong language, has amassed more than 150,000 views since it was uploaded to TikTok on Wednesday, as well as many horrified comments. Stefan even said, "As soon as I saw the sparkles, I knew it was thousands of tiny spiderling eyes." Eva wrote, "I thought it was a bougie glitter spider." Kelly added, "Oh honey, that's not glitter, that's the thing of nightmares." Irdif OK said, "I'd grab a flamethrower so fast. I've had huge spiders, but I can't knowingly deal with possibly 50 spiders roaming about." Can I Be Frank said, "I knew as soon as I ruled out a robotic spider it was babies. Nope, grab a lighter and deodorant can quick." Charles Welsh said, "Now you get hundreds of friends." Jesse Scarrett said, "I thought it was a cool spider until those demons started crawling everywhere. Burn the house down, bro." It seems Bamshki did well not to squash the spider, as Jade Malouf wrote, "I made the mistake of trying to squish one with all its babies. It exploded baby spiders and nearly burned the house down, lol." Although the identification has not been confirmed, the arachnid was described by many commenters as a female wolf spider. A TikTok user named Brandon said, "Wolf spider with her babies. They ride on her back till they're ready to leave, then run for their life." Some users thanked Bamshki for not killing the mom as he replied, "I just can't do it to any little thing." Bamshki later joked, "I thought I found a diamond spider," although he did add, "I needed it outside." The female wolf spider is known for her maternal instincts, laying around 100 eggs at a time according to Chesapeake Bay Restoration Program. Once mated, the female spins around egg sac, attaches it to her abdomen, and carries around with her. The young hatch inside, then emerge and climb on mom's back until they're old enough to live on their own, National Geographic explained. This is unusual in arachnids, as the Australian Museum points out on its website. Such a high degree of parental care is relatively unusual among spiders.